Today brings me down to Cuckoo Pen Woods. It's a little woodland near where I live in Wiltshire, and I'm hoping to come down here and find some mushrooms which I'm going to cook along with my venison. It's a very damp day, perfect conditions for finding mushrooms, so let's hope I find some little treasures beneath the leaves. So we couldn't find any edible mushrooms in the woods today, they were all poisonous ones, so I did wonder about that, so I brought along a jar of dried mushrooms which are going to give a fabulous flavour in themselves. So we just need to reconstitute those in some boiling water. So I'm just going to put a few in a bowl there. I think those are chanterelles. So we're just going to pop them into the bowl and then pour over some hot water. So the mushrooms just need to sit in that water for the short time that I'm going to start frying off the venison in the pan. The cut of venison that I'm going to be using is fillet, and I believe it's from roe deer. I've got this from my local butchers, and I'm just going to open that out and see what we've got in there. If I can get into it, that is. So we have this beautiful fillet piece, which is just exactly the same as you would get from a fillet of beef. So what I'm going to just do with that first of all is I think I might just cut that into medallions, just for ease of cooking. You can see how beautiful and lean that is. Venison's incredibly lean meat. Now what we want to make sure we do is not overcook this, otherwise it will become tough and dry. Well, not necessarily tough so much, but just dry, okay? So the pan's been heating on the hob, so we'll just get a little bit of olive oil into there, and then we can get ready to just sear off our venison. So put that in and leave it in there and make sure that you don't move it around for at least 1 to 2 minutes. And what we were looking for is to create a lovely crust around the edge, golden crust, and then that will also create some caramelised juices in the pan for when we make the sauce. And turn that over when it's ready, and what we're looking for is to create a golden crust around the whole of the meat, so it's lovely and flavourful. And that's looking really beautiful. They're looking really good now. Okay, it's still a little bit rare, our venison, but I'm going to take it off now and just let that rest while I make the sauce. You want to let it rest because it just relaxes the meat down, and all the juices ooze back into the middle of the meat, and the meat just becomes much more tender than if you take it off. It's very tight when you take it off having just been cooked. So I'm going to just take that off and cover that with a little bit of foil, and it will carry on cooking a little bit as well. Just cover it with a little bit of foil to keep the heat in, and then the venison will also continue just to cook for a few moments under there as well. So I'm just going to peel and dice shallot for this one actually. I really love the flavour of shallot because it's lovely and sweet, and they're the perfect size for a sauce like this. So I'm going to dice that up and get that into the pan with those lovely juices that are in there from cooking the venison. Now the wine is in and the mushrooms have soaked and they've reconstituted themselves, I'm going to add those into the pan with the wine, and along with a little bit of the liquor from the mushrooms as well, and also I'm going to add a few woody herbs, nice winter herbs, into there too. I'm going to season the sauce as well. Just a bit of sea salt and a little bit of black pepper. Sounds like someone's trying to get their supper for tonight. And along with that I'm going to add just some woody thyme. I was going to add rosemary, but I think I'm going to stick with thyme for this one actually. So all we want for that is just a few of those little leaves and none of the stalks. So we need to let that reduce by at least half now, so that will probably take about 10 minutes. So So the sauce is reduced down loads now. It's probably reduced down by at least half. And so I'm going to add a little bit of red currant jelly just to bring the sweetness up of the sauce. Boil that for about 3 or 4 minutes and then we can serve the venison. So I'm going to add a little bit of red currant jelly. What that's going to do is that's going to add some sweetness, but it will also thicken the sauce a little bit and make it a little bit syrupy. So I'm just going to add a nice sort of tablespoon's worth of that, I should think, into there. Oh, if I can get it onto a spoon. And that will dissolve nice and easily in there. Stir that around. Yeah. Okay, I think we're just about ready to dish up our venison. Make sure you toast your sauce before you serve it, just to make sure it's seasoned correctly. It's perfect. The venison is beautifully pink in there. If you've got any juices left on your plate, just pour those into the frying pan with the sauce. And the colour of that sauce is absolutely beautiful against the dark of the venison. And all you need, really, is just a little bit of greenery just to finish that off. I might sit down in the woods